Now that's good coffee. So I have never actually worked outside of home. I think the only time I ever did that was when I had my very first job. Just as soon as I finished high school, I used to work in the IT department for iClinic, where I was building their databases and management systems. But other than that, I have never ever left my house to work or to do anything. I actually started at my parents' pantry that was right next to their kitchen, and I made that into an office. It had no windows or anything, but hey, that was my start. And then from there, I was able to, buy a desk and get different things, and then sort of built a small office in my room. Eventually, Master and I got our own place. We got a room that we started to use for a home office. And now I will tell you this, I really would prefer to always work at my home office. And the reason for it is that I like to have things that are set for my style, things that look the way I like them, and also how close I am to different things without having to commute. Here, I come from the bathroom, I can go to the kitchen if I want to, and then I can just come into the office whenever I want without having to drive or to do anything like that. And the other thing about it is that once it's my own environment, I'm able to sort of shape it the way I want it and the way that it works best for me. But one thing I will always recommend if you're working from home, or if it is, you're now, because of the whole COVID thing, started to work from home, is to sort of differentiate your workspace with your home space. And what I mean by this, right now here I can come into my office and I will close the door that's over there, and it is like if I'm in a complete different environment. Sometimes I play music, sometimes I do different things just to not feel at home. And because the room is closed and I have like my own windows on this side, and we have to set up the environment as I will show you, it sort of feels like if I actually went to an office without, leaving my home, which is literally what it is. So over the last year, one of the things that we did is that we tried to scale the studio to be able to get more projects, more clients, and just grow the overall business. And that requires Sarah and I to work together quite a lot, and not just in design projects, but also, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Sarah does all the project management. So there's a lot of meetings, a lot of times that she has to sit next to me so that we can discuss projects, that we can see where we are on different projects, give her heads up of what I'm working on, what I met with a client, what the meeting was about, and all these different things. And sometimes if the environment is so small, it's also quite uncomfortable for two people to come together and work in that space. And that was something that was not working in my previous setup, which I don't know if you have seen my previous videos. I mainly just had that space over there, where it was sort of like a corner where I had a standing desk that didn't go up or down, it was just standing. I had a shelf behind me that I would put some lights on it and whatnot and make it kind of cool for YouTube. But at the end of the day, it was not comfortable. Not being able to, sit down on a proper chair or, standing whole day was cool at first, but the reality is it gets tiring. And for me, for example, I'm a very active person, so I don't need to be standing most of my time when I'm working, because at the end of the day I might go to the gym, go for a run, or do something that will actually make me active. So in early July, what we decided was to sort of redo the entire room, make sure that the room was working for us for productivity wise, so that we can work on projects and do everything together, but also for stuff like this, like what I'm doing right now for YouTube, for the content that we are creating. And also the last thing is that we sort of wanted to mature our brand a little bit, the way that we when we create content on YouTube like this, what my surroundings look like, so that it sort of also match like what we're trying to get on the website and the different brand elements that we are creating, just sort of that everything is consistent. So in July, as I said before, we started to think about the room, map it out, see what we wanted to create, what we didn't want to have in the office. I don't know if you remember this, but I had like books and lights around me and all sort of things, which was pretty cool, but it was also quite distracting. And I know a lot of people out there thinking about productivity desks when they have all these different monitors on their desk, they have different lights, and they have like an iPad, then like a crazy keyboard, a crazy mouse, crazy computer on the side, or anything like that. But for me, that doesn't really work. The more things I have on my desk is the more I will be going to do something else instead of the work that I have to do. So for me, pretty much productivity means a minimalistic environment where I don't have many distractions except what I'm working on. And that was the goal for this overall design. So to get started with the design, one of the things that we did, we went on the App Store and we downloaded this app called Roomly. I don't know if you can see it here. And what it allows you to do, yeah, and what it allows you to do is to sort of be able to map out your room or the environment that you're working on, so that you have the exact measurements that you need to be able to see, like if a big desk is going to fit, where you're going to put a shelf, where there are doors, or anything like that. So the great thing about the app though is that it allows you to sort of bring in furniture that you might think, or to fit the layout that you want to create. So for example, in this one, and I will see if I can put some of the photos here, but what we did is that we decided first where are we going to put the desk, where we were going to put this area right here, which is sort of like our lounge area. And then we can have a coffee here, we can talk about the projects that we're working on, we can talk about different things that we want to do here. And this way we are sort of separated from the desk. We can also see it from here if we need to go there, but it's a nice space for us to just be able to talk and figure out what we're working on and so on. The next thing, once we figure out the measurements and we figure out the sort of the furniture that we wanted, I sort of started to work with Sarah to help me sort of find the aesthetic that I wanted in the environment. So for me, normally things are very plain or very simple, so sometimes they don't create that much of a good look. But with Sarah's help and ideas, I was able to sort of create like this area here where I have like 2 chairs and the light that I have on this side, which is really great for YouTube now that I'm looking at it here on the video that we are shooting. And then I have a lot of space right now, so I have my studio lights right here, and I don't know if you can see, but we have the mic right here. And then we sort of started to bring in plants like this one, just to sort of create depth and create sort of a nicer feeling. They're not real by any chance, because anytime we have real plants, they like die, but they create a nice aesthetic, they create a nice look for the room and whatnot. So for now, that works. And pretty much we got, I believe, everything from Amazon. The only things I think that we went to IKEA to get were some things like the coffees area, where we have like the French press and some of the coasters and whatnot, and then some things for like the shelf that I have over there on the right side. But pretty much everything that we have here, I'm gonna put it in the description because you can get it on Amazon, and a lot of these things are just under $100. Like I think even the desk was just $120, and then everything else is just under $100. First thing that I think we have to talk about is the desk behind me. If I do this, you probably can see it, and that desk is a 60-inch width desk. And the reason why I wanted it so wide was because I wanted to be able to work with Sarah on projects together, so the 2 of us can sit there without problem. She can bring her laptop if she wants to, just put it on the side. I can have my desktop, which you can see behind me, and I can also have my laptop on the side, so I can work without having to move different things, and everything is just connected. The only thing I have to do is some sort of cable management below it, so that I can put all the wires into one, but I can leave my laptop on the side. On the side, I can have my monitor right in front of me, which, by the way, let me know what monitor you recommend for graphic and video editing in the comment sections, because that's probably one of the next upgrades I have to do here. So if you know one that you recommend, please comment below and I will check it out and also just share the Amazon link so that I can take a look at it. And the last thing I want to do here really is like on top here where I have this open space. I wanted to print out some of the photos I've been taking. I don't know if you know this, but I'm also into photography, and as you can see, videography. That is just a hobby though, so sometimes Sarah and I go over to Pittsburgh or wherever we go and we take photos of the buildings and whatnot. So I sort of have frames that I have I bought in IKEA, and they were like $8 or $9. So I'm going to print them. Most likely the photos are going to be in black and white, but I'm going to put them right on top here. So it sort of take over that white space that I have behind me without really having too many distractions. And then on the monitor, whether I keep this one or I get a new one, what I want to do is I want to put some lights behind it, just sort of it creates difference between what I'm seeing in the monitor and the wall, which is also better for your eyes. Then the next setup that I have here is sort of like the coffee space, and this one has a really nice light source because I get light from here, but I also have the main studio light that is right in front of me on this side here, which sort of like lights up my face quite well. And then I bought a lamp that which sort of is like a yellow lamp that really lights up the room well actually, but it's right there, so that sort of also gives me a little bit of warmth, which is sort of what I'm trying to look for the my videos and the branding that we're creating. But here we sort of have like everything that we need for like like when we want coffee. Even though it's in the house, sort of we have the French press here, everything is here really, so that when we are just working here, we don't really have to step out. We just make our coffee right here and serve it, and it's also quite nice for aesthetic purposes, and also for like YouTube when I'm shooting different videos and I want to create a different look for my videos. So as you can see, I did the one by the desk, which is sort of like my tutorials setup. Then I did the other one that was where I have the plant behind me, and I sort of thinking about using that maybe for a podcast sort of look, or just for videos that are more like me talking to the camera. And then this side is also quite nice to be able to do videos where I'm just talking to the camera, more just conversational videos like this one, not really something that I am trying to show you on the computer on how to do on websites or design or anything like that. It's quite nice to also have the coffee stuff, which is something that I am also passionate about on my videos, and sort of showing you that we have a brand, but we are also bringing in some of the things that we personally enjoy in our daily lives, like coffee and like the plants and the aesthetics that we have here. So maybe for a video I might bring the plant across here so I can block this. Let's give that a try. Yeah, so now I have the plant here. Maybe I can come a little closer, and it just looks quite nicer than it looked before when I just had a door behind me. So different things like this are really easy for me to move, so whenever I'm doing videos or anything that we need to move this space around, it's quite easy, just to pick up something and put it somewhere else, or organize it so that everything fits the way I want it to look like, so that when I'm doing videos it works the right way. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much my work environment in a nutshell. Mainly 3 different spaces. My desktop where I'm back right now, and this is, as I said before, this is my tutorials angle. Sometimes I go on that side, but I have the window over there, so I'm trying to get some of the direct sunlight from there, which at this time, which is afternoon right now, it gets a bit difficult because the sun will be right in front of me. So I normally just cover it with curtains, and then I have the studio light shining into the wall, which then also gives me some light here, but then I have it mainly lights here. And then the space behind me, which you saw, it's also quite a cool environment to sit down and do some thinking, do some journaling, do some writing or reading, and of course drink some coffee. And then you saw the coffee space, pretty cool, straightforward as well, French press to be able to have coffee, try different coffee beans, grind them, then drink them, make everything there. And as you can see, it has been pretty simple. It took us about a month to put everything together, mainly because there are a couple of things that we weren't sure, like if you get it on Amazon or we get it in IKEA. But as I said before, I'm gonna put everything in the description. I think we did this whole room in under $750 if I'm not wrong, and that is everything: tables, desk. The only thing I'm not including there were like the laptops and the Mac Mini that I'm using almost on a daily basis to do work. And then for my actual work computer, I have an MSI laptop, which is a powerhouse per se. It can run everything, like render 4K videos in just like 5 minutes, and you can do all your editing here without a problem. That's not something I normally do on the Mac Mini. This is a 2014 Mac Mini, not the M1 chip, but it still runs quite strong for like everyday stuff. But if I know that I have to do some heavy graphic design work or a heavy website development work, I will do that on the MSI laptop, which I'm going to do a review and post it on this channel as well, in case you are looking for a budget laptop that actually can handle a lot of heavy load work. And then the only thing I didn't show you, I think, were like the books. I have them hidden in that closet, because they were quite of a distraction. Even though I love to see them, books have so many colors that is quite difficult to be able to get the aesthetic to match that. So what I did is that closet there was empty, mainly with gear that I have. So I put a bookshelf inside there, and I put all our books there, so they're nicely packed away. And everything else that I need, like chargers, batteries, for the camera, different stuff that I might need, like the Wacom tablets, everything like that I might not use on a daily basis, I also put it in the back there. So guys, let me know what you think is the right productivity environment for you. Are you looking to do any changes on your office space, home space, or anything to make your work space a lot better? And also, as mentioned before, don't forget to let me know what monitors you guys recommend for graphic design and video editing. I don't really do much gaming or none at all here. Actually, on my computer, I prefer to play on console. If you do have a monitor that you recommend for video editing and graphic design, most of my work is graphic, web, and video editing. So if you have something for that, let me know in the comments below and share at Amazon link so I can take a look at it. And if you're interested in more videos like this, or maybe me sharing, my reviews on some of the gears that I'm using, let me know, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell button so when I post another video like this, you get a notification. And I will see you again in the next video.